I'm mad. Had like 7 minutes recorded, then something accidentally doxed me. I am going through various uh, fixes for that, i.e., yo, check it. This bit doesn't work anymore. If I can't just look it up. Ugh. Yeah, I'm looking at IKEA. You know why? That's why. That bit doesn't work. If I look it up, it'll dox me. Because it'll like show location, even though I have fucking location off, but whatever. I swore within the first minute. Alright, this is not getting recommended to people. That's whatever, though. So, you may be wondering, cheese underscore stick one, what's up with all the tabs? Cheese underscore stick one, why can we see your screen? Why are you just going through them repeatedly? Oh, that's just me making sure everything is indeed how I want it. Okay, actually, I want to orient it differently. I want the SAMOSBOR will be back here. NoEnd House will be no showers will be okay. I like that actually. Uh, SAMOSBOR is okay. Let me just double check my notes. Sorry, that threw me off my game bad. All right, cool. I alluded to in a few different videos now that I want to start a new thing. This is that new thing. The working title is tenuously What Went Right. I understand the name is lame. As such, if you have a better one, please let me know. However, what is right will, what went right rather, jeez, what went right. My throat. Ugh. Sorry, I was drinking water. Uh, so what went right will indeed require the usage of these different tabs. There are different stories within them. Of course, I'm more comfortable with just making sure this shit didn't also fucking dox me. More comfortable with the Skip Wiki because hey, that's just how I roll. Right? I know SCP. Even though this is Wikidot, I do not know how to navigate through shit. I do not know how to navigate through shit. Also check it. Instantly. No data. Just in the 200 ranks? Come on, then why do we have all of this shit? Use the earlier fucking pages. Like, look. The fuck? Oh, you're radial blur. That's what that definitely says. That pissed me off. Like, come on. If most of these are going to be not filled in, why? Why? Make them go use the other ones. The number does not matter. That okay? I'm curious. Yep, called it. Called it. Let me just. Okay, thank God I didn't fucking. Okay, now I've never been on the Backrooms wiki. Wow, a lot of these. Okay, are mods real on the Backrooms wiki? Never thought they were. Also, during this period of time, check it. That is an ugly highlight. Ugh. Like I'm not the biggest on navigating this either, or I don't even know if I'll use this one because, right, I have to. Oh, I forgot to mute too. Sorry that it jump scared you as well. I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna actually. We're not watching that though. I should have muted that for you. Yep. It's loud in my ears. So I'm gonna use that as notification to myself for when that's over, so you don't have to watch the ad. So this video, The Infinite Horror of SAMOSBOR by Muldred, is a great jumping on point to learn about SAMOSBOR. Given that I've formatted it at the back, it's pretty obvious to tell that it's not going to be the one I'm going to talk about the most. But SAMOSBOR is obscure Russian shit, moderately, but it is Russian shit. So if you don't speak Cyrillic, if you don't know the Russian language, I think it's specifically Russian. I don't know, fucking might be another Cyrillic language for all I know. They are the same symbols to me. I don't know how to read them. I don't speak that language. and um, and also it's pretty old. So finding archive stuff of it is not very easy, and I'll show you a little bit why. So if you want some knowledge on SAMOSBOR, watch this video. It was fun and entertaining. It was fun and educational on SAMOSBOR while being entertaining, is what I'm trying to say. Right. Look, even those timestamps, which you consider all the time, but I don't want to re-listen to my stuff that much. Right? Games, animations, extra lore, most of it, and little intro stuff. It's well formatted, it's good stuff. If you're curious, you can go there. Now, what did I mean by, oh hey, it's hard to find stuff? Aren't there two wikis right there? Well, there's a wiki for a game. There's a wiki for a game. What the fuck? Okay. A good thing I know most off the top of my head and watched this like 3 hours earlier to refresh my memory. I have not read The Showers in a while. I have not read NoEnd House in a while. However, short. Not as short, but still short. Only a two-parter. I know this shit like the back of my hand. So, I will not do readings of these because I do not, generally speaking, like doing that myself. It feels too thievery-y for me. As such, this is how I will go about and explain and run my fingers through other bits of media. Because I feel uncomfortable otherwise, almost as though like, oh, cheese underscore stick one's just stealing content. He's just uploading readings. And that makes me go like, oh, I don't want to do that. So maybe, incredibly tenuous maybe in the description there will be an unlisted video where I do readings of these. If there is not, and you still do for some reason want that, tell me in comments. If 5 people want it, I'll do it and update this stuff, okay? But I don't think you guys do. Actually, I'm gonna make a community post right now. If you haven't yet, by the time this goes up, please go comment and give your response. I'll pause and be back in a second. Alright, cool. I just finished putting the post up, so yeah, again, if you haven't seen the post but you clicked on this video, please go respond on the post itself. And then considering that the videos get posted way after, like the day next, I guess check description. I might have gotten responses like over the night and recorded it in the morning or something. I don't know. I don't, believe it or not, I can't see the future. So, but just if you haven't, please go and give me some feedback because I appreciate all feedback pretty much and will, use it accordingly. Sorry, I'm drinking water. Anyway. Let me just check my email very quickly on my phone before we get into the meat and potatoes, maybe, of... Okay, so nothing though, good. I like only use my email to check if I got AO3 comments or kudos and stuff. Speaking of, I guess I could technically show off my fucking AO3 right here. If you can see right there, my bookmarks. Oh, hey. There it is. So, these are what we're going to talk about. SCP-3008, The Showers, NoEnd House, the Backrooms, specifically level 0, but we might jump a little bit. Talk about 1 and 2. That's as far as I'll go, though. I'll talk about my opinions on Backrooms as a whole later. And SAMOSBOR, again, the video you should watch if you don't know what it is. But I'll give everything a brief overview. It won't be a reading, at least not on this video. Maybe? It won't be a reading, but I'll give you something, yeah? I hope it won't be too bad, and I hope I won't get too distracted. Again, new project got me a bit like nervous, like, oh, I've never, like doing the two-person video. I was a lot more comfortable with because I have another guy to bounce off of that I could like get feedback on. He could write me. He could get me on track, and we generally play off of each other fairly well, I say. Um, this is just me fumbling in the dark, intimidating, not overly so, but enough that I am a little bit scrambled and that I'm constantly double checking my notes. There's the location. Okay, okay. I think I can do this. Oof, do I give me feedback on like how you want me to orient this too? Because again, I want these to be good for the viewers too. I'm thinking I can give a quick overview, talk about my favorite parts for each. Why is that? Talk about my favorite parts for each. Then talk about the actual substance, which are also in the description as well. My points that I'm trying to cover. And we'll go from there, right? So, sorry, we yawned real quick. Okay. Hmm. What did I just say? I said, like, I'll give a quick overview and then we will figure it out from there, pretty much. Ugh. Right, cool. So, SCP-3008. It is a okay, so I'm going to throw around a little bit of SCP terms. Won't be too bad, I promise. SCP-3008 is a spatial anomaly where once you enter a specific IKEA, exactly where is fucking, it's at site blank, right? Anyone going through site blank, shit like that. It is an IKEA, right? That, is this one of the, that's not one of the ones with CSS or hyperlinks and shit. Okay, did I skip over it? Hold on, there we are. Wait, what the hell? So, it has these little footnotes that just don't exist. I didn't never notice that. Makes me look like a failure. I'm gonna actually slap myself. I have to focus. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm nervous. 3008 is a temporal spatial anomaly that resembles outwardly a perfectly normal regular old IKEA. This IKEA naturally is a huge fucking infinite, basically space, right? At least 10. Oh, I'm fucking retarded. That's just squared. It's at least 10 kilometers squared, right? Like, it's fucking huge. To the point where it's practically infinite. And it plays off the joke of, hey, oh, IKEA is a big fucking maze, yeah. Uh, for all intents and purposes, this IKEA is functionally infinite. Within this IKEA are staff, which are a creature hostile at the nighttime or when provoked, so neutral until night, which then become hostile. And food that replenishes itself through unknown means, like the IKEA meatballs, all the stuff that they get at the food court, water, vending machine, stuff like that. It just gets refilled sometimes. I don't think it's a regular. Uh, Hold on, wait. I know the. Randomly. Okay, yeah. They do. There's not a regular thing. So food is always rationed, but it is technically infinite as well. And they're just stuck there because there is no exit, or rather, there is, but it vanishes and reappears at random, just whenever the anomaly wishes, practically. So that's your general overview of what 3008 is. Yeah, if you've read it, you know that like I didn't do it justice, but you know. The Showers is a creepypasta following a main character who I think is named, but I can't. Wait, hold on. I think it's Jack. Yep, it's Jack. Following Jack as he attempts to find a place based on a urban legend that his I forget which grade teacher told him. Oh man, my seventh grade civics teacher totally copied that fucking ad nauseum during Halloween. He actually busted out a bunch of creepypastas and like horror stories. There's like taking suggestions to read. That guy was such a cool guy. Follows Jack trying to find this urban legend that his teacher told him. He was enamored with it, believing it to be a real place. Eventually finds Mr. Mays, the teacher of the story, and finds that it comes from somewhere. Broken Broken Bow, Nebraska. Never say it. Then part two actually follows the exploration and discovery of shit in the showers. That sounds bad, but of the actual showers location and the horror there within. NoEnd House is a like horror walkthrough house. Little scare house that they have, you know, those little event things. Follows David, that is my name, as he goes to the NoEnd House to win $5,000, which was given to him in five $100 bills. I would prefer 20s myself, but and it details him going through NoEnd House, which I believe has 10 doors. Let me just see. Why is it not? Is it not? Is it just 7? No, this is 2. Okay, fuck me. How does it? 9 rooms, as it follows the 9 rooms in NoEnd House. It's called NoEnd House because no one's ever made it to the end. If you could wager, the main character makes it to the end. I would say spoilers, but as I emphasized earlier, you should have read these stories yourself. If I didn't, fuck, I'm sorry. You should have read these stories yourself. If not, then find readings of them. If I didn't put them up, which I may not have, I know NoEnd House and I know The Showers feature prominently on Creepcast, Wendigoon and Meat Canyon's co-owned creepypasta podcast. Uh, Again, Backrooms. You understand why I'm doing this for the what went right on locations? Enough. All that has been said is like the archived version. This is not fucking archived at all. What the fuck are you on about? What the fuck? Could you hear this? Can you hear the disappointment in my voice? Uh, anyway. So this is what SAMOSBOR looks like. This is not racist. This is actually not even a fucking joke. This is actually what SAMOSBOR looks like. The Khrushchevkas, something like that. Masked Soviet bloc housing. I'm so fucking mad about this. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna cover this before I jump back to SAMOSBOR. Sorry, I drank water. I'm talking about the backrooms again. Levels 0, 1, and 2. For the, what I think went right for the locations. If you don't know what the backrooms are, you no clip into reality and wind up in this fuck-ass location for all of the rest of eternity. No food, no water, nothing but your own thoughts and the constant buzzing of lights. Because we're going to old school on this shit, baby. I was taught by this puppy. If you're not careful, you no care about reality. Yeah, no shit. People not know that? Do they not know the format of a fortune book? If you're not careful and you look up out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, and the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz. And approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. This last line, if I could go back in time and tell this Anon to just not fucking write that. What is this? Hmm. Wrong. Bait. Fake. We did actually find out where the Backrooms is. It was some fucking go-kart track they were renovating. Big ups to this video, I guess. Uh, did I? Yeah, I did. Meant to have to be a different tab. Actually, wait, I can just... So, SAMOSBOR, let me see if there's actually some images right here. See? Won't even fucking with you. Just looks like that. SAMOSBOR is, like I mentioned before, this surreal, weird-ass fucking Russian shit. It was like 2 years ago, right? I think it was more than that. Oh, at least 3 years ago. Hold up, yawning. Where it all takes place inside of one of these. A Khrushchevska. Khrushchev... Oops, I clicked the wrong. Does this have the... No. Is it because... No. I forget how to spell it, which pisses me off. SAMOSBOR takes place inside one of these Giga... It's... Given that it's fucking massive insane upbuild, it's called a Giga Khrushchevska. Because it is Giga, if you couldn't guess. And if you couldn't guess, there you go. I guessed for you, and my guess is correct because like I mentioned, I know a bit about it. This is everything takes place inside this one huge building, where every floor is numbered. That can number down even into the negatives. So there is the implication that it's subterranean, but nobody knows. It is an entire civilization, practically, hardcore civilization, living inside of the Gagothroshovska. An important thing to note is that it is surreal, bordering on the absurd. Everything breaks down. SAMOSBOR is a conjunction of some Russian words meaning self-assembly. Apparently it also means something in Italian. I haven't bothered to look it up. And generally speaking, everything's dreary and sad because it's made by Russian people. That's mostly racist, but also mostly true. This is not made by Polish people. Fucking love Frostpunk and Darkwood, though. Sorry, just drinking a little bit more water. During SAMOSBOR, a SAMOSBOR event is when... See? An unknown natural phenomenon that occurs sometimes throughout the Giga structure. What it actually is this purple fog that appears and does vague things. Never exactly clear on how exactly this kills people, only that it assuredly 110% does. The only way to survive is to go into hermetically sealed rooms, either like bulkhead doors and like airlocks, or sometimes just ones that have just asbestos lining them to make them airtight, and get in before you get fucked. They can be predicted, but it's like, you predict anywhere from 5 minutes to like 10 months. Like, it's not a good prediction. On top of the alarm systems can be broken, they can be tampered with. The fog breaks shit all the time. Food must be heavily rationed. It is a very collectivist, but not really. It definitely is commie. Um, like layout orientation. There is a whole government. It's more in depth than I can remember right now. So just again watch the video from Muldred because it's actually really good and goes into great detail explaining shit, especially for your easy to digest. I get rid of this image now. Basically, everything's dreary, everything sucks. You live in this Gorbaczovska. You do not know the existence of outside. For you, it's just some myth that old people made up. It is not a fun time. I love it, personally. I wish I could read Russian so I could learn more about this shit, but I'll have to set up whatever videos I can scrounge up later. Now, that is the very loose. Yawning, sorry, it's 1 in the morning here. That is the very loose overview of each of these stories. I'm now to delve into my favorite aspects. For 3008, I love this, right? I love this journal. I love the expiration log sort of aspect it has. This is the bulk of the story, and it's the best part of the story. I it's a bit too short. That's what we got Tails for, baby. Right? I like that it. Really, I'm sorry. I like that it never feels too dreary. I like that the MTF are barely a part of it. Like, right? You don't have any like gun-toting badasses here to mow down all those damn staff. I like that staff are a threat, but only just because there's so much of them. I love this. I love this a lot because it's a handmade journal. He's not talking to you, right? He is canonically dead. This is a handmade journal. If he starts writing, if I ever get out, stops before out and just strikes it through. Fuck it, right? No reason to be sad. I like it a lot. Like this. I like the main character's a fucking freak, right? I like that he actually tries to think. He goes into ignore that like I made a functional crossbow. Like everybody reacts intelligently. All of this is like amazing. This segment alone is really cool, as is the explanation. And I'm yawning again, sorry. And those are my favorite aspects. I could gush about this SCP for days, but I could gush about every single SCP for days, so that's nothing new, eh? As for the showers, I love like even though it's not a main part of it, I love this scene where he meets with Mr. Maze again. It's like, and it's such a sad scene. Not because like, oh, like something tragic happened to the main character. Well, I mean, I guess in a way it did, but like, just because it's a sad, like, fucking time. I love that Jack is, if I remember correctly, alone for the bulk of it, right? I love that he doesn't really even find out much about the shower. He doesn't get the answers he wants. He's just here, and he's terrified. Everything is decrepit, it's all ruined, and he just keeps going through it, right? Because fuck it. I don't super like this part, because I don't get it, but I mean, like, I like that they didn't explain. Oh, like once more. It's not some ancient secret the town demands be hidden. It's not some kill room where the main character barely gets out within an inch of their lives. They're never really in genuine, like a verifiable I am going to die threat. It's just an abandoned location. What the hell it's abandoned about, I don't know, right? I think the author has a book. When is this? When is this? Uh, I don't know if it's the same person, but Creepcast effect, or Creepcast is presence. Did he make it? Yes. Question mark? I don't know. Check this out. I don't know if it's good. Let me know in the comments if you have it. If you. Looks like it has good ratings. Keep me informed, I guess. Point I'm making is like, I like that it all feels, it's like not too long, which I do like. And it gives you a bunch of good visuals, leaves you with some questions, and I like the name. The showers. The whole building isn't one big shower location, right? It just has a place in it with shower heads. And so it's called the showers. Yeah, NoEnd House definitely, it could have, I think it could have settled a little bit. I like the gradual progression, though. I like the gradual progression. As in, the early rooms are like nothing. Also, it starts with a fucking punch to the jaw. You read that shit? It starts by punching you in the jaw. It's an old one, so that's why. But like, I like that the first few rooms are like, first room is a baby room. Second room, like, yeah, it's fine. Third room gets weird. Four and beyond, they're like bad, right? And the twist ending's amazing. But you probably figured it'd be a twist ending too. I mean, I figured it, right? Like I could feel it in my ribs, and then it got twisted, and I like that. So, I have no idea what you, what fucking, I don't know why it keeps giving me the autocompletes. I'm in fucking incognito tab. What this shit? I don't know how that helped. We found the actual image again. It's a places remedy. So, well, I'm not big on the this part. I do like all of the descriptive terms they use here. Again, not huge on this. At the time, it was a good idea. Not huge on what it became. But at the time, I kind of like this. And I like that you're just fucking alone. Because this is hell to be in. I want to keep that up, actually. As for this, I don't know, man. I really don't know. When I get into breaking this down. Maybe I'll do a Backrooms video on its own at one point, but I'm not big on the Backrooms. I love the picture. They don't have the same... They want to be SCP so bad, but they can't be. I'm sorry, they want to be SCP so bad, but they can't be. Fun. Uh, this is kind of cool, I guess, right? In like non-Euclidean geometry, but I would prefer it just to be a huge maze. So I guess I don't really like this as much as I thought I did. Maybe it's because it's this specifically, rather than... And this isn't even the... Where is the... This isn't even the archived one I know. Like, I remember... Oh, hey, cool. That's a nice nod. Does the rewrite have that? No? Wow. Tell my voice how I feel about that. I don't know what the fuck this is. I hate this is like, I don't know, something about that feels so fucking cheesy to me. Fucking... That being said, I don't mind there being, like, colonies of people, like, gathering together. Right? Like, this is kind of cool. I hate some of the shit, though. I prefer it when it's just a labyrinth, as it is implied to be here. Rather, they're not saying it's a fucking non-Euclidean space. Of course, I like both, I just prefer labyrinths. Because non-Euclidean spaces are hard to rationalize because we already... Oh, nope, I'm blind, actually. Never mind. Take back the thing I said. We're like, oh yeah, they don't have the... I take it back. That being said, it'd be too much to put a link to like an archive of the image or something. What do I like about SAMOSBOR? I like how fucking absurd it is. Like it mentioned before. Depressing to the point of absurdity or some shit along those lines. Like Moldred caught on. The line "everything breaks" does so much for the story. I like that SAMOSBOR when it was first getting traction on whatever fucking like website it was on. I don't remember exactly what fucking site. I like that when it was picking up steam, getting traction, getting eyes on it, there was guidelines to how to add to the world of SAMOSBOR. A nice, easy, I want to add, how do I, for you, for like future authors, because like that's so good, letting them know how they can best stack on and give to this was amazing to me. I don't see that very often, except for Guide for Newcomers. I don't want to be petty. Do you have? Okay, you do have. Okay, I don't. Is there a guide? Um. Okay, it doesn't look like. Okay, no. Okay, I guess I was right. Huh. Really do want to be SP so bad. Isn't that just Backrooms has tails? The fuck did that happen? Huh. Don't know how to feel about that. I love that like you cannot stop a SAMOSBOR event. There is no way to stop them. You literally just have to. All right, I have to go. I must go now. The alarm is blaring. Oh, when is it coming? Hmm. Like that's just your only answer. Like I don't fucking know. Why asking me, kid? Alarm's blaring. What are you gonna do about it? And I like that. Uh, what is it? Couriers. I like couriers. I like the idea of being living in this Khrushchevska. My job is a courier, not a coveted one. I'm not big on the liquidator stuff, but I do like noting that they have a huge fucking casualty rating. That's hilarious to me. Uh, but I prefer being a courier, just walking up those stairs over and over and over and over again, delivering letters and then going back home. Do you think, just like an idea, do you think that the couriers are given like kit, right? Like, okay, here are your letters from floors 490 all the way up to floor 610. But delivering all those will take several days, especially going up there. Yep, here's your backpack. Here's a tiny little bedroll. Here's a tiny little knife. Here's a little bit of food. Here's a canteen of water. Remember, kid, take breaks. All right, come back when you're done. Because it's a huge fucking building, yeah. Anyway, I don't know, just spitballing. I haven't read the fucking. Okay, so now that I've said what I like, now that I've given the overview, because I want to emphasize I do like these stories, even the Backrooms, but not like the idea of the Backrooms more than I like the Backrooms, but I like the Backrooms. So let's just do these in order because there's no reason not to. There we are. Sorry, just moving my wires around, moving my laptop around. Staging ground, I called it. I.e., is the location a good jumping off point for the horror? I mean this both in the sense of is it intrinsically a good location for this? And also, did they do good with implementing that, if it is or isn't? Regardless of if it is or isn't, I should have, whoa, make sure nothing's out and got removed. I should have specified. For, just standard IKEA we've all been to, there's no intrinsic horror in being in an IKEA, right? It only comes in when you slap onto things at the end of that. Being in an endless IKEA you cannot leave is immediately terrifying because you're just in a fucking store. There's something so weird about big department stores, I guess. There's something weird about it. I would not stoop as far as to call it horror. Right. That needs to be washed later. Looking for blankets. I'm like, what the fuck? I shouldn't eat this. I just brushed my teeth. I went to Sam's Club and bought a bulk pack of Sour Punch straws. I have 24 packs of these things. Uh, I need to get, I need to go through them, because otherwise I will feel like fucking massive. But I am sub 100 pounds, so those being in my room is psyching me out, just knowing that they're back there. Uh, where did I buy them? They're good though. It was worth it. There's nothing intrinsically terrifying about being stuck in an IKEA department store, right? I guess it's a furniture store, but it's a department store. But I don't like the concept of infinity. It's scary to me because I don't like it. I can't explain it other than that. I'm sure you can get why, but like I don't know. It's like I'm saying, there's nothing intrinsically scary about that. Being in just a fucking IKEA. But then throwing in that you can't leave, that it's fucking massive, right? And then being there after dark, and then throwing in the staff. Now we're getting somewhere. Especially given the fact that you're likely alone for a good long while because of the sheer size. And then the fucked up shit of like people who see the exit only to have it vanish before their very eyes. I'd kill myself. I'd kill myself then and there. So, is an IKEA intrinsically a good place for the horror? No. What they've done with it, however, made it great. And of course, being just the file, it's not like we're exactly the most horrifying of stories, right? I want to check. Oh, I haven't had to navigate the tails in a while. I forget how to. Um, Here we are. Where's your act? There we are. Have we made? Yeah, we've made a few. Oh, come on. Cute name. I don't know. I don't know how many of these are horror, as I have not read these in a while. I think I've read one or two of these. And then there's the ones on SB Illustrated or Mr. Illustrated, where he partnered up with Dr. Sumerian, who, by the way, posted recently again. I watched it. I was so happy to see that man back. Never have I been so happy to hear Ahoy. Um, what they've done with it, they've definitely set the stage for horror, especially if you play around with his first. Whoop, um, 3 days, 4 days. Especially if you like play around with the idea of his is he named of our journal entry guys first 2 3 days in the IKEA where he's wandering around alone, just unable to fucking find anything. Even worse if he finds staff, right? At night or not is up to you. Or signs people have been around but are no longer here, like vandalism, graffiti, slogans, sayings, like encrypted messages, stuff like that. And then, of course, it being Skip Wiki gives you a lot of chances to throw more shit into 2008. Popular ones being 001 or Dr. Locke's 001 proposal. Let me see if I got that one right. Let me see if I got that one right. I fucking died! We made it, Kill Agent. And no, this image is not AI generated. Because this has been on the page for fucking ages. Beautiful fractals. Uh, oh, that's cool looking. I know I'm not talking much, it's just I am a fucking baller. Yep, Locke's proposal. Especially throwing in 001 Locke's proposal when day breaks, right? Because it's just, come on, it's so good. And in fact, Mr. Illustrated did one of those. Oh man, it's old by now, but this was a good watch. Sorry, I realized I have to catch up. It's been a chunk of time, eh? I'll do that later. So I believe that like it does the location does a good job at being a jumping off point for the horror, undeniably, because it the showers undeniably does a good job as being a starting location, the jumping off location for the horror of the story. Especially given it starts off as a horror tale told to people for the intent to scare them. I mean, in the story itself, it proves it's a great usage of that, great example of being a jumping off point for the horror of the story. And then when you get into the location, well, for starters, it's in fucking Nebraska. Let me just go to where he confirms it. For starters, the location's in Nebraska, so already we're off to an amazing start. Outside of a place called fucking Broken Bow, amazing. The place itself being this decrepit ass like almost farmstead that's falling apart on itself, and just nobody knows where the fuck it is. I want to like just double check that people like just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, found a town. Telling us on a sort of broken boat. As townfolk, if they have information about the showers, met with blank-eyed stares or eye rolling when we told them. Only person who knew was an older lady. Right. And of course, there's this. She does the vague. Oh yeah, a long time ago. Like most people just don't fucking know about it because like, oh yeah, urban legend, who gives a shit, right? But going into it and like the way they describe the wind up being like this fucked up like evil road that's like a oppressive darkness, if I remember correctly, with like the trees seeming to want to claw at them as they're going in. Like, oh, that was so good. And of course, again, the location itself being a rundown shack in the middle of fucking nowhere. Immediate phenomenal jumping off point for horror, especially with the way they do it. NoEnd House, yes and yes, right? A good good place intrinsically for the horror. That being, as I settle myself back down in my seat, I'm kind of laying down now. As I settle myself back down in my seat, that location, of course, being, if you could imagine it, uh, a little horror pop-up experience. Well, it's not pop-up because I don't think it goes anywhere, but like a haunted mansion deal, right? Despite them not being the most scary things in the world, it's obviously a great point to just, all right, here's where we're starting. Here's how we're going to make it fucked up and twisted and evil. And so it's a great job capitalizing on that, as it obviously should. I think this is a definite yes. Uh, so I'm conflicted. On one hand, I want to say no, because this does not inspire horror. It inspires unease and being upset. But like that and horror go hand in hand, so I almost want to say yes for that. But like I wouldn't really call this horror. It's definitely unsettling. It definitely feels not right, wrong, stuff like that. Holy shit. Something moved in my goddamn room. Scared the fuck out of me. This blanket sucks. I want a different one. Damn it, I want to lay on that one instead. This blanket's fucking. I gotta deal with this one, damn it. Oh, what was me? I have to deal with this blanket? Yeah, well, fuck you too, man. Uh, it's like, and the damp carpet, like perpetually damp carpet, that's upsetting. I wouldn't like that. But it's definitely horror adjacent intrinsically, which I think is good. Obviously, not that you need it to be. Again, I loved 2008, and that's an IKEA. But I think it's still a good starting location for the horror. This, right? Like, this is a great place to start for whatever tale you're about to tell. And I think this little two paragraph thing, well, one paragraph really, captured it in as much as it can without doing lore, because it didn't want to do lore. Look where we are now. Not a slight against it. One Skip started the same way. SCP started the same way, but like, I don't. I feel fucking bitter about this. Like, hey, I can never explain it. I didn't finish my thoughts. I I think that yes, this is a good location for starting jumping off point, and I think it does good stuff with it. Especially the original, the little offhanded remark of, "Oh yeah, if you're something hurt you, you're fucked," almost like an afterthought, does good to sell the idea. Alongside just, "Hey, fucking look at this place. I wouldn't want to be." Okay, well I do for like 10 minutes. 10 days, I think I'd go crazy. Obviously, yes. Right? Obviously, yes. Big complexes. I'm weird. I have a fantasy. Okay, so I don't think I've ever told this to anyone. Alright, so I'm gonna say something that sounds actually psychotic. Bear with me. I have this bizarre. I think I had a nightmare like this. Well, I mean, most of my dreams are nightmares, so that's why I said it's a nightmare. But I think it was just a regular dream this one time. I think I had a nightmare like this, right? It was like a a cheaply made apartment complex, not like a Khrushchevska, and not like projects in America, but like just a cheaply made, solid apartment complex. Cement walls and all that, like concrete walls, like they were not painted. It was bare bones because it was, a dream. And I had a backpack on, and I think like one of those hand crank flashlights. And I was just walking through it. This abandoned. I'm gonna sneeze. And I was just walking through it, this abandoned apartment complex, going through the various rooms. There were no doors, again, dream. And I was just staring into like empty concrete rooms. Sometimes there was like beds and sometimes like couches and like kitchens and stuff. I was just going through this like floor, got to the end, got to the stairs, went down the stairs, and then did the same thing, just like a few dozen more times in this dream. I have been chasing this idea for years. I can't explain it. I want I want to live there. I'd prefer if there were people, of course, and stuff, but I don't know. I would also like. I would also not like a SAMOSBOR event to happen. I want to live there. I'm sure for others the idea is horrifying. A massive, like, mega structure of seemingly no purpose, completely abandoned, or like empty rooms for me to wander through. Again, long dark shit, quiet apocalypse. I want that so bad. I want to live there. I want to walk through there. I want to hear the soles of my shoes clip against the walls reverberating around me. I want to just keep walking and I want to just keep climbing or descending or whatever. So for me, I don't think it has an intrinsic horror. There's something serene about that idea, and I am chasing that so bad. And I'll never be able to reach it. So I don't know what the fuck that was about, but I don't know. I just like, did you guys know I've had that fucking fantasy for years now? Probably not, because you don't know me for years, presumably. If my friends are watching this, did I ever tell you guys that? I'm pretty sure I didn't, right? That was the first time you heard of that? Point. You may think it, I don't think it intrinsically horrifying. With what they've done with it, however, the SAMOSBOR events alone do amazing things for it, but the fact that you truly can't leave, yeah, that'll do it to me. What I don't like is there are no windows. I can't see outside. If I could see outside, that's fine. I could delude myself by thinking I can go as far down as I can, and I can, if there's sometimes stairs break, I can do sheet ropes and go down to the next floor, or I can wrap myself around the building and go to the other side or some shit like that, right? You get what I'm trying to say? I don't like that there aren't any fucking windows. That would drive me fucking crazy. That alone would actually like do it in for me. Because suddenly, for me, windows make me feel like I'm not trapped in a house. If there are no windows, I go, I can't fucking move. I've mentioned before how I am not like claustrophobic, but if my movement is restricted, I freak out. Windows help me feel like my movements are not restricted because the Giga Khrushchevska doesn't have windows. I would go feral. And then everything is decrepit and breaking down and rusted and grimy. Everything breaks. Samospor events, being in presumably Russia, communists, like this is all horrifying stuff, right? Potentially eating people, like these are all on the same. These are all on the same level. And what is the what am I thinking of right now? And whatever the fuck kills liquidators, like just genuinely so hard because they have to clean up after a Semisvor event. I think that's really good for jumping off point for horror. That is an amazing like opener. You can expand upon that very well. So, what is as I finish up the first point, I don't think I ever explained what I'm trying to do with this series. I want to go through already made things, talk about what went right, as in what's good about it, so that you can see the story, hear me break down what I think is good, and then maybe that helps you with whatever you do. Sorry that I just now mentioned it 57 minutes in. Scale. How big is the location? How does it play in with the narrative? Now, for most of these, let me just organize it so like that now. There. Scale is small. Scale is small. Scale is actually the smallest one. Yes. Scale is small. In these ones, it's confined to a building, right? The showers is the shower's location. The NoEnd House is the titular NoEnd House. Worse until the twist. She somehow got here without reading the story. 9 rooms in all. I pulled in my driveway, laughed as open my front door to my house, and as I saw the small 10 etched into the wood. So the twist is you never escape the NoEnd House. But technically, the NoEnd House is just the house, because that's what we saw in the story. So it is a small, confined to one building location. This too is one. Hell, they're all one building, right? Well, I mean, whatever the fuck you want to count for the back rooms. They're all the one building. This is the smallest, despite what the nickname is, the Infinite IKEA. What the second nickname is, because of course on the wiki itself it is a perfect normal regular old IKEA. So this, why is it not? I'm hitting the back and forward like buttons on my mouse. It's not really doing it. Is it a wikidot problem? Well, no, it's working here. Despite the secondary fandom name being the Infinite IKEA, it's not actually infinite. Again, roughly 10 kilometers. You can find walls, right? You can find walls of the IKEA and circumnavigate the IKEA. Weird as fuck thing to say, but for all intents and purposes, you're trapped, right? That's where it comes from. It's like, yeah, sure, there are walls. They might be fucking miles and miles out, but you're probably not going to find them because night's going to fall and you'll die, and you need to be in a city or a town or structure, whatever, kingdom, before night falls because of staff. And also because you just want to walk that far, man. Like, you need food. So, IKEA, right? What was the scale is large. Like, it's especially when you consider height, because it is. Oh, it is. What's the word to find it? Nope. How do I spell? Overhead signs help a lot, but there are others. And the distance is huge. Oh, wait, so kind of tower made of wood reaches all the way to the ceiling. Uh, there are lights up there, but it's a few days walk, which means it must be miles away. Nobody knows for sure. Ceiling is pretty high, as far as anyone can tell. It goes on forever. Right. That he never dwells long on it because I would be giving it like rules and stuff. I guess the author didn't want to. But like IKEA is fucking huge, especially more so when you consider going up. Of these, I think it's still the smallest. I don't. It's unclear with this one, but with the line 600 million square miles, like yeah, I think SAMOSBOR is bigger just by virtue of being. But what was my point again? Let me just double check my notes. Scale. Let me just like get down how big they are. Also big horizontally specifically, right? You could just wander through these for fucking years and years and years, right? And then this gar fucking gantuan of a vertical ways. Of course, there are also the little rooms, right? Because it's still an apartment complex. So like this is genuinely fucking massive, and it is unclear forever exactly how much. How do all of their different scales for these locations fit in to their narrative? Let's go from left to right again. The showers. It confines itself, narrowing its scope to one location. Now, all of these, you could argue, narrow their scope to one location. I argue when you're big enough to be a continent, specific points become cities. How does the showers use its small scale to its benefit for its narrative? By well, by focusing its story. It focuses specifically on the place of the showers. Although it mentions Jackman character talking about other urban legends, he's never explored those. We are here for just the showers. And then we get the showers. The showers are not massive, they're not big, they're kind of unassuming, despite being like this collapsing building, which helps it feel a little bit more real because it's trying to emulate being an urban legend. And it helps it feel like, you know, wrong, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it other than it helps it feel wrong. Like the rusted, fucked up like structure. Bare bones, stuff like that. It's almost unassuming, which I like, I guess. Plays into this narrative by helping it narrow its focus to being just the showers, which helps it feel punchier, which helps it be more concise, which helps it stick with you longer. Same with the NoEnd House. You know going in that there's the 9 rooms, which helps emphasize the twist later. It was an obvious twist, right? I knew it going in, but I still liked how they pulled off the twist. NoEnd House also helps narrow its focus. It is this one guy going through this one house. No bells and whistles about it until the end. Well, and also all the bells and whistles within it, because of course, horror story. But he is just going through the NoEnd House. No tricks and japes, no citywide again until the end of the story, but because it's just the ending, it doesn't really count for the story, if that makes sense, and also is true. I think it might not be true, but I'm just saying it regardless. I like it, right? The helps it focus itself, like I keep saying, because that's what happens when you restrict your scope. It is a benefit. I want that drilled into the heads of novice authors. How does the scale of the IKEA help with the narrative? Because it is an SCP, and in this case being this sort of, and also, this part, just so we can get some fun story stuff, right? Because it is an SCP, the large scale helps emphasize the anomalous nature of it. If it was just an IKEA with staff, it wouldn't hit as hard, right? The fact that you get trapped in here as part of the anomaly is great, emphasized by the large scale. Now, sure, if it was a regular IKEA, you could still have it just be like, oh yeah, it's a spatial anomaly, it doesn't let you get out again, but no. They went the extra mile. It is a huge fucking labyrinth, and I love it for that. It helps it feel more imposing than it should be, especially when it is just an IKEA. The idea of the IKEA being this huge and not letting you go is really good. How does it use its scale for the narrative? By making it feel larger than life. Haha, large. Cheese underscore stick one made a size pun. But it does help it feel larger than life because of its just magnitude. How does the Backrooms location help with the narrative it's trying to tell you? By being 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in, it really sells the idea that you fucked up, you're not supposed to be here, it's wrong, and you're stuck. And you can never go back. All this got changed later on. Exits, stuff like that. But ugh. Come on now. Redactions. Uh, but it being 600 million square miles of endless looping halls and shit to wander through helps the narrative to sell that you're alone, you're fucked up, you should not be here, you are stuck, you are going to die. And then they changed it. So I don't know how the fuck I feel about it anymore. How does the scale play into the idea? The idea of isolationism, the ideas of being trapped, the ideas of being stuck here in this fucking Giga Hrushevska, they play perfectly well. Right? Like, it is perfect. It being so huge is emphasizing, like, hey, this shit's, like, not supposed to be here, it's not right, the Khrushchevska itself is fucking wrong. Right? You get what I could say here, and I'm tired, so I'm gonna speed along through that. Quiet or loud? Is it populated? Why or why not? Is that a good thing? Now, let's reformat these into populated or unpopulated. Un will be on the side. I don't know where to put NoEnd House, actually. I guess we did it again. I kind of want to put NoEnd House here for reasons, but I kind of want to put the showers here for reasons, but also no. Who's more populated? Guess we're gonna try this format. Again, give me feedback on the way I'm doing this. First time and all that. Is it populated? Yes. Of course it is. SAMOSBOR? Yeah. Why or why not is that a good thing? I think that's great for the story. My wires got unplugged. It sells the idea, right? What was I even saying? I just carried on like I knew what the fuck I was talking about. Quiet or loud is a populated wire, but not is that a good thing? It's a good thing, right? The Because nobody has hope, giving the idea of like, yep, this place sucks the life out of you. Right. Also, given that it is, again, an apartment complex, I'm just gonna keep the image here. Given that it is, again, an apartment complex. An apartment complex gives like more. It's good because it really shows it being what it's supposedly supposed to be, being this like gargantuan apartment complex. We have the old people, which give us a nice little clash of like those who knew what life was like before the Khrushchevska, and how now nobody fucking believes them at all. The population is a big sticking point because, keeping them fed, giving them rations, stuff like that, giving them a sense of purpose, like liquidators, like the minds. I forget what the it's actually called, the scientists of the Gagarushka. It and gives you opportunities to write your stories within the universe. It's good. For the backrooms, I have always, 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 well, making sure the wires are plugged in. I have always, always, always. What? You expected a definite answer, but it was me. Indecision. I've always flip-flopped. I don't know whether or not I want Backrooms to be populated. I think I usually err on the side of no, I don't. I like the idea that the main character, the protagonist, whatever, is just like completely and utterly fucked. That they have no one to rely on, that they have. Ugh, I'm feeling okay. That they have nothing to rely on, right, outside of just wandering endlessly. I like that a lot. But also, I like the idea that there are enough people stuck around in here to form communities. I don't like the pseudo SCP thing they have going on at all, because if you wanted to write an SCP, just write an fucking SCP. But I like that there's people. I should stop drinking sideways. That one was bad. Still got water trap, damn. I think I don't like entities though. Let's see which. Yeah, so that's definitely something they changed with this rewrite or whatever. Wait a fucking minute. This. So like, that's fine. You're just going crazy because of isolationism. No entities are known to exist. However, when you encounter another person, it's not a human. So do they exist or not? You need to fix that, or at least make it more clear. You're talking about being deluded, unlike hallucinations and stuff. This I think is cooler myself, even if I don't like the MEG. Take a sip of water. Maybe that'll clear the water from my water. Whether or not... Oh, right, the whole reason. Okay, so it just doesn't... Okay. Whether or not... entities were good for the health of the backrooms. Frankly, they were here from the start, and it's too late to do anything about them now. So, quiet or loud? Loud. Why or why not? Is that a good thing? I don't know, personally. There's the idea, there's fucking elitism, as there always is going to be. There are people saying that, the Backrooms was never meant to have entities. The horror always came from being alone, trapped for all eternity like limbo. And others are saying that's not true. Read the post. You can see right there entities have always like kind of been here from the start, even if they didn't take that form. I think it's just a Pandora's box issue. I don't like shit like the party goers. I don't know if they're even still fucking canon, or the smilers and shit. It's slop shit, right? I don't like these stupid low effort, oh my god, the evil kill monster and it explosionates you. Something 5031 and how that's a subversion of the idea of an incredibly evil murder kill monster. Right? I've read 5031. I think it's fun. But also there being an external threat in the backrooms is good for whatever stories you want to tell from it. And evidently we want to tell stories because we have tales and immediate curiosity. Well, God, I'm sorry. How many? Oh, are it 12 pages of tales? That's not bad. How new is this? I wish I could see the date easily. I'll check this out later. Maybe I'll like this specifically. But I do like the idea of these external like entities here to put pressure on the you to run, frankly. Because I don't like it when I can just shoot at a monster in stories that are supposed to be horror. I don't think you should always be, defenses and horror and stuff. It's just like sometimes it's best to be that way. Um, but I think overall entities are good. I just think they need to really trim most of them. Most of them are not good. But the idea is sound. Horrifying. I'm going crazy. I'm seeing shit in my room. Quiet or loud? Loud. Good or bad? Good. Especially with... this. A little sneak peek into the idea that the 3008 is multiversal, presumably whatever, different realities, shit like that. Uh, explaining why it has this many people without causing issues, because like that is a big thing for me. It's like how many fucking people are in the back rooms? How many people fucking no clip? Like what the fuck? Uh, but like this being like a oh yeah, one or two people go missing, that's fine. Idea. Just because they just go missing in regular ways, like oh yeah, I'm going to the store, and then they never come back. Uh, but and then the staff provide a good, solid threat because of the numbers reason. It is So here's proof. Uh, I was about to say like it's pretty much stated that they are not very much so hard to kill. Apparently, in addition to not bleeding, these things don't rot either. My curiosity got the better of me while we were unloading them, so I took a look at one of the more cut up ones. They're just skin, or something that looks like skin all the way through. No muscle, bone, or organs. Are they even really alive in the first place, right? I'm sure I felt more resistance than just skin what the knife went through during the fight. Maybe something happens when they die, just one more thing on the list of weird shit, right? Uh, and here is where their main threat level comes in. Staff attacked exchange last night. Must have been 20 or 30 of them, all just asking to leave while trying to smash the walls down with their bare hands. Apparently, it's a regular thing, so everyone's prepared. Right? And here's proof that despite the staff being a presence, they're not overwhelmingly so. Right? Uh, Prepared for it, knives from restaurants, lawnmower blades made to hatchets, a fire axe. One guy with seam has a functioning crossbow. The walls have holes in them, so that we can stab at the staff when they attack. Took a few myself. They don't bleed. They go down as easy as a regular person once you start sticking holes in them. They're not and also I like this too. Like this is, whoops. I like this too. Most importantly, like this. And then here's proof that they are still a threat. If you're not prepared, if you get caught off guard, if there's just too many, break down your walls. 12 showers over 100. 20 towns. Their hands are, quote, big enough to crush a watermelon, and they do it how you think they do it. Crush your skull. Bludgeon you to death, whatever. Staff aren't very smart. They're not incredibly strong, unless, of course, their weird biology permits them to be. Most of them likely are not. But they're endless, and there are many. As such, they are a good threat for 3008. As such, they're a good threat in general. An enemy that cannot tire, that cannot be. Damn it! I wanted to rhyme because they do expire. They die. That can never. Whatever. Point I'm making is it's a good threat because of their basic threat level, but just that they cannot be really. Because like there was a fucking mountain of dead bodies in. Was it Exchange? No, Pickup. Hundreds, maybe thousands of staff piled up. Uh, so like over here in Pickup, there's proof like yeah, they can take them down. I I think that's good for the story though. That way you can give your protagonist like a sense of like victory while overcoming a great foe, even if the foe is not incredibly, incredibly super great on their own. But of course, big enough to crush a watermelon. So, next point. Oh, wait, nope. I'm not doing this just for 2008. Did I cover these yet? No, I haven't. Quiet or loud? Quiet. I like that. Right. We're just with the main character for the bulk of the story. Of course, there's telling the story. Of course, there's meeting with Mr. Mays. He's got his pal with him, but they don't really do much. The most of this, the most of part two, where they go to the showers, is just a good amount of David, that is my name. No, Jack, that's it. There's a good amount of Jack being alone. Being alone in the showers. In the place that we know killed one of Mr. May's friends. in the place that we know is dangerous, that we know little about, that is threatening, that is oppressive, that is all of these things, and we are alone. I think that's amazing. That's the care to be vulnerable, which is important in horror. David, that is my name. He is also alone. Of course, the things he find in it are few, and when they're there, they matter because there's such a tonal shift. Like, holy shit, a person. What the fuck? But given that NoEnd House, just like the later rooms, are a very personal thing tailored to you, kind of. I think it's a good. It's good. It's solid, and it does wonders for playing with the protagonists. Fun read. This is important for all of these. Is it a fun read? Given the weird nature of this, I wouldn't necessarily call it a fun read. I'd call it a fun setting, but it's not the most fun read. No, that's a personal thing. I know people may very well disagree. This is not, personally, this is not a fun read. I don't, it just kind of sucks for me. It doesn't do it for me, pretty much. That's like it. I mean, sure, you read it once and that's it. It's a fun read. You forget after a while. This is a fun read. The journal is doing the heavy lifting here, of course. I mean, sure, this is nice as well, but if it was just this, I wouldn't give it in. This is a fun read. Well and truly all the way through. This is a fun read. This is definitely a fun read. I recommend it highly. As was this. Why did I stop and ask, hey, was this a fun read? Because we're here to read stories, friends, and if they're not fun, why do we read them? Sure, I mean, we can also read them if something really profound or whatever, but we like them to be fun. Motives or lack thereof. And how is that good for your story? The Giga Khrushchevska has no motive, it just is. The SAMOSBOR event has no motive, it just is, reminding you that you are just here. Great for the depressing dreariness of SAMOSBOR. There is no hope after all. Motive, you're just here. Reason why it exists, you're just here. Because you fucked up and did something you shouldn't have. It has no motive, and I think that's good for the story. Cold, uncaring, unfeeling existence. Likewise, they have no motive aside from the staff who just want you to leave, but you can't. Does the IKEA have a motive? Does it feed off of you? Probably fucking not, yeah? You just stuck here because you walked into an IKEA. I think that's pretty good. The showers, they have no motive, right? It is just the showers. Or the motive we have, because there are creatures in the shower, which I didn't mention. Forgot to mention. There are like little kids in it. Can't explain it, right? It sounds weird. They're like little ghost kids or some shit like that. It's hard to explain. What are their motives? Fucking unknown. Who knows why they still live there? Shit like that. Mystery around the showers. The showers, and I think that's good. The showers are intended to be a mysterious place. He went there once, it fucked him up, and he's never going again. Same with Mr. Maze. In fact, It fucked him up so much that he has to make it an urban legend to tell his kids, his students, every Halloween to get over it, and it never helped. I think the showers, the building not having a motive is great. I think the entities having something that you just don't understand is amazing. For NoEnd, well, what is the motive? You go through the NoEnd house and you get 500 bucks. It's the bait of the anglerfish. And then it can be vaguely assumed that NoEnd house is making you like go through your own tailor-made personal hells. That's fun. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Maybe it's feeding off of your energy. I think it's good. I like that. Does the location get in the way, i.e., do they focus too much on location instead of anything else? For SAMOSBOR, I really think not, actually. Um, right? There's enough to delve into the building if you'd like to. There's enough to delve into the SAMOSBOR events if you'd like to. There's enough to delve into the different factions if you'd like to. Because collaborative writing project, you can do really whatever the hell you want with this, right? Like with SAMOSBOR, it's how much do you want to keep it as? Because, like, everyone writes their own stories for it. Does the location get in the way? Absolutely not. It's a phenomenal framing device. Same with 2008 too. They don't focus too much on the location outside of it being the framing device, right? And shaping the world building and stuff like that. And it lets the main character play around in its world for a good amount of time. The staff get their attention, the cities get their attention, the main character gets attention. It's nice. For the showers, the location does not get in the way, right? We have good characterization, we have good character moments, we have good word choice diction. It flows well, right? And again, the location is very, very secluded, very secretive, very unknown, mysterious, so it doesn't really get in the way of that either. For NoEnd House, no, I don't think they do, because the whole point of the location is to describe the NoEnd House. And we do get character stuff with David, that is my name. When he goes to the different rooms, how he reacts to stuff like that, it's all good. They don't focus too much. Even for Backrooms, no, I don't think so. I think they focus on just what they need to. Usually, right? Again, collaborative, so whatever someone writes is whatever someone writes. So I'm not the arbiter of all. But for the most part, they keep it as a framing device for whatever gimmick the level is. My opinion on that. But I think it's good. Is the location the only good part? No, I like the rest of it. The staff alone, the way people could interact, all that. The showers, no. Right? There's some fun stuff with Mr. Maze, trauma, stuff like that. For NoEnd House, definitely, but that is not a slight against it, right? If the story is the location, then yeah, the location being the good part is phenomenally done. It may be, yeah, sure, the location may be the good part of NoEnd House, but that's the point. For the backrooms, yes. I generally think that the location is the best part of it. I don't really care super much about the entities. I don't really care super much about the groups of people, even though I just said I do like the groups of people. The location is what comes first and foremost. SAMOSBOR, no. The location is not the only good part. I may love the Giga Khrushchevska both in size, scale, what I think is cool about it and stuff like that, but the SAMOSBOR events do great things. The factions do great things. And again, collaborative, so whatever people write is whatever people write, but for the most part, it does good. Those are all my notes because I didn't know what to really do for these. Let me know how we thought this came out, and if we'd like to see more, let me know if you want me to do readings of that shit, and I'll see you next time. Let me know if we want to continue this, please. And suggestions for what went right on these various stories. I want to look at it from creepypasta lenses, from writing project lenses, from whatever. Right? I'll go through different shit. Just give me a little basis to jump off of. I'll pull up some stories that coincide, and we'll see what I can dredge up. Thank you for watching this far. If you'd like it, all that typical YouTube spiel. Have a good day.